Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So today we have another maintenance update video for you guys today. Not that there was any maintenance, but we do have a few extra things that have popped up over on the NGS site. But before we jump to that, if you're new here, as always, I'm Chrono. I promote cover PSO2 content, and much appreciate to subscribe as we're going towards that 10K mark. Hopefully by the end of this marathon, actually. We are still doing our live grindathon. It is currently at a whopping, what, 216 hours? You know what? We'll go ahead and get that timer up even for the video. One sec. There we go. A whopping 216 hours is what we're currently at, and the marathon's going to continue trudging on forward. Been live for 20 hours as it is, and I'm reaching the point where I might need to go ahead and take a sleep break. But either way, let's go ahead and jump into what we have to cover today. There's not a whole lot going on. It is the end of the month. It is only like, I think, an AC scratch and a couple other things we're going to talk about here really quick. So it's going to be a fairly quick video. But in case you're wondering yourself, why would I sit here and listen to this guy read me all the information when I can just search for it myself? You're absolutely correct. And NGS.PSO2.com. Scroll on down. Everything with a red dot is where you need to be paying attention to. Or you can scroll down in the video description. Assuming Cry remembers to include in the video description, there should be a link to all the relevant articles that we talked about in today's video. So let's start off with Frame Arms and Frame Arms Girl anime collab. So Frame Arms is coming back. We have some new parts that are available. It's not just a bunch of bikinis. That is really, really nice. So we finally have some cast parts looking pretty clean, looking pretty crisp. And then of course we have three sets of the Frame Arms Girl parts. So that's pretty standard. It's pretty much perfect, of course, guys. Let's be for real. The game is played mostly by Type 2, and that's what they're going to give us in most situations. So even in the case of cast parts, you're mostly going to get the female variant cast parts for the most part. We do also get a new Flying Base 5, along with the weapon camo. I do like these a lot. The Flying Bases are actually some of the coolest emotes that we have. Granted, you know, of course, minus or behind. What is that emote called? There's his weapon pose 8. My weapon pose 8. This is actually still really cool. This camo is sick. I love this camo. It's kind of sad that you grab it kind of like by here. I mean, it looks more like an axe, and it could look like a keyblade, but it is what it is. I'm sorry, key sword. Legally distinct key sword. Please no sue Disney. We also have this. Oh, this looks sick. I like this a lot. This is really, really cool. So bunch of frame arm stuff, nothing too crazy. And that's pretty much it for new things that'll be added in right now. Like I said, a pretty quiet week. It's gonna be a fairly interesting month. We of course see the individual parts. Now Skulls will be covering this in more detail over on her channel. So we'll have a link in the video description to her video. I'll make sure to include it myself, or I'll pass it over to Cry. I've got to figure out how that's gonna work out. But there should be a link to the video so you guys can go ahead and check that out in more detail. We also have PSO2 Day on the horizon. It is the beginning of the month, meaning from the 1st all the way till the 4th, essentially. There'll be PSO2 Day. It's the 4th, like super early in the morning. Be able to grind out quite a bit and take advantage of all those wonderful, wonderful bonuses. There's also the exclusive AC shop sale that goes on during PSO2 Day. We'll take a look at this and see if it's actually worth it. The substitute voucher is not bad. The fact it's only 4 passes is kind of lame. This isn't terrible, but it's only 1. I'm not sure, like, I don't know that this is worth it alone, but this is not terrible. I'm sorry, this is not terrible. This isn't, I wouldn't say worth $8 by itself, but this isn't actually that terrible. I'd argue I'd probably go for this instead. Well, this is also $8. It's a tough sell on either one of these. I'd say skip them. They're really not that important. Unless you really, really, really need vouchers and you're trying to like finish out the vouchers, you want to just pay to win them, I would say skip these. Are really not all that important. Solid bonuses, solid extras. We really like to see these. We also have official original NGS merch that is going to be available on Amazon, so you can actually purchase official NGS merch. My wallet's gonna hurt. I'm probably gonna buy one of everything, so that should be pretty fun. It's SEGA, Atlas, all that good stuff. We have phone cases, we have hoodies, we have shirts. So finally, we have some freaking merch. And this last one was something I recorded for a video beforehand. I'm just gonna include at the very end here. During the headline, they mentioned that Mars is going to be tweaked, and they're going to be basically tuning down the damage that Hydra Termination spam does. Now, during the headline, they mentioned specifically that Hydra Termination is used during downs and during basically all forms of combat for termination spam overall. And the way they worded it, it was very nuanced in a way that it sounded like they were talking about just the down damage retaining its damage, and then of course the regular damage being nerfed, which would be good. It would be better in my opinion. But reading into this a bit more, looking at the translation, I would say it looks like that they're just nerfing Hydra Termination by a flat 25% overall. We don't know for certain, so we have to wait until it actually releases, but they're going to be essentially tuning Mars so that the other weapons are being tuned up, Hydra formation is being tuned down. My only real concern with this is Skyla, to be honest, because Skyla's been really good. Even in situations, basically in situations where you can't terminus spam, Skyla is basically the next best thing. So we'll have to see how that plays a part. This is just an article letting you guys know that it was talked about during the headline, in case you don't watch the entire headline because of how important this specific thing is. And that's basically it. We're gonna go ahead and hop in game really quick, take a look and see if there's anything that we missed. All right, here we are in game. As far as things that have been added in, nothing too crazy. I have my official creator stuff, which, oh, that's different. They're doing it every 3 months. That's why it's from so long ago. Interesting. Okay. I was like, why is that so late? All right, no big deal there. Reward box is still here. Nothing has changed here. One that's been added in is, of course, the scratch. Like I said, Skull's going to be covering it in more detail. The frame arms is here. And much like we thought was the case when any of these scratches are revisited, they have the old stuff mixed in here as well. So from the previous scratches, the previous frame arms collaborations, in case you missed any of those items, they are back. You'll be able to go ahead and get those. So that does mean anyone who does hold on to collaboration items with a thought that they're never going to return, I would probably change your mindset there. It looks like this is going to happen. It's what I'd expect to happen with the Melty Blood collaboration that's going to be coming up. So we'll start to see this happening more often if they do revisit collaborations. Even if there's new stuff in those collaborations, usually with collaborations, whenever they come out, there is like some other stuff that's mixed in there. Now they're just going to take the stuff that's from the previous collaboration from the first one and also mix it in with the second one as well, bringing those back and giving people a chance to get a hold of those items without them being super crazy expensive. But if you're one of those people who buys them with the idea of them being super crazy expensive, just know that they may not stay that way indefinitely. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything else that we might have missed here. Just gonna do one last pass over and make sure nothing else was missed. So yeah, it looks like we haven't missed anything. It looks to be everything that we talked about. So we're gonna go ahead and end the video here. Let me know if there's anything I missed in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more. As always, thank you to the channel members. I appreciate every single one of you. Keep in mind that if you guys are becoming members to the channel, it is increasing my timer even while I'm not here. So I could be asleep, be increasing that timer. You could be like not even watching the stream, be increasing the timer. So we'll have to see. Either way, take care, my friends. Peace out.